Not having confidence will completely destroy your life. My name is Des Pena, aka the Trillionaire Woman. I manage a $70 million estate and I help six-figure business owners help maintain generational wealth throughout their families utilizing secret structures and policies that only the billionaires use. This is why confidence will completely destroy ultimately any life you have imagined building for yourself. One, let's say you want a family. So your personal life. If you do not have the confidence to be able to raise up a girl for my younger kids, or be able to approach a female who is potentially worthy of having your future kids, you're not going to have a family because you lack the confidence to be able to speak to women. Now, there are multiple things that you can do to increase your confidence, and this is going to go for everything all across the board. Having confidence in business, having confidence in sales, in I don't really know what else you need confidence for, but just overall being an awesome person. You're probably likely not going to be such an awesome person if you do not have confidence, because no one is ever going to be able to see truly how beautiful you are if you're not comfortable within your own skin. So first things first is we need to fix the inner voice that's playing within our head. This inner voice should always be telling you, if you're a female, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you're strong. If you're a male, you're handsome, you're intelligent, you're also strong. It needs to have such positive, repetitive affirmations that simply will not allow you to fail. Because if you don't have a good mindset, if you don't have a good inner voice, that inner voice will sabotage any and every opportunity that you have to grow. Having confidence in oneself is exuded not only in your tone of voice, not only in the way that you look, but also in your aura. People feel you, whether you know it or not. Our heart is a magnetic field. Every time it beats, it's usually going out, I think, like 6 feet or so, which is why they made us stay 6 feet away for you know what. But besides the point, when you have confidence, more people are going to be attracted to you. As a result of more people being attracted to you, more opportunities will come to you. That's why people have this preconceived idea that, oh, beautiful women have it all. And it's because, yeah, they're beautiful, but as a result of being beautiful, they have confidence too. It assists with their confidence, or sometimes it can even hinder, their confidence in some ways also, which I'll explain maybe a little bit later in the video or in a different video. Let me know if you guys want to hear about how being absolutely stunning can end up hindering your confidence. Go ahead and comment below if you want to see me make a video about that. But when you're constantly being told you're beautiful your whole life, yes, it can become cemented in your brain that you are beautiful. And as a result of that, you have a positive frame of yourself. And when people are bullied growing up, being told they weren't beautiful every single minute of every day, then they may have a negative frame. Now, it's not your fault that things were done to you or that you were bullied, but it is your responsibility to be able to change the frame of how you think. Because no one should ever affect, unless it's in a positive way, the way that you think about yourself. Because if you do not have a strong frame, your frame will be shifted by the frame of others around you. And unless they're making more money than me, I do not need their frame. Please, I don't. Because it's taken work to have the level of confidence that I have now. I've primarily always spoken with a lot of confidence just because I believe what I say. And when I believe what I say, and I'm a person who always executes on what I say I'm going to do, then there is no way that I am able to not prove to myself that I am capable. When you start doing what you say you're going to do, you begin to build evidence to yourself that you can trust yourself. When you start speaking to yourself in a positive frame of mind, in a positive tone, then you are more, this primarily is a double-edged sword. It can have you think that you are too good, basically, to need to evolve if you're someone who's comfortable, or it can encourage you to be better. And this is primarily a larger majority of voice, I would say, in the female population, because in the male population, I have found more often than not, they're sometimes driven more of by like a negative voice, which is, do better, you suck, oh my god, like just harping on themselves, right? In order to have this competitive edge, in order to execute on the things that they want to execute on, whether that's getting a better body at the gym, whether that's making more money. And yes, it can be motivational to move in that way, but you're also going to have higher cortisol than someone who has a positive frame of mind. And there are ways and times to tap into both, but if we're talking about simply confidence, your confidence is going to be built as a matter of your character. It's not always going to be outside. Yes, taking care of outside is always important, because when you look good, you feel good. Do you think that if I walked around in sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt, people on a random Tuesday when I'm out and about going to want to do business with me? No. They're going to be like, what is she wearing? What is she doing? She's probably, someone who doesn't care about what other people think, which is, yes, true, primarily, but also someone who's not capable and able to present herself in a professional way. And if you're not able to present yourself in a professional way, then why would I ever want to do business with you? So that's another reason why I dress how I dress, is I'm always ready to have a business meeting or make a deal. Because if I wasn't, I would be closing myself off to opportunities. And again, remember, when you look good and you feel good, more people are attracted to you. So does that mean you have to do makeup? No. Does it mean your skin should be clear? I mean, you should probably work on that anyway, because a majority of time your skin is not clear due to an internal imbalance, whether that be with hormones or with the things that you're eating, your gut microbiome. So you always want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself always, because if you can't take care of yourself, how, in a relationship, how can I ever expect you to take care of me? If you can't take care of yourself and I'm a client, how can I ever expect that you'll take care of me and my needs? So how you take care of yourself is how you will take care of others, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. If I am someone who constantly says, oh, I'm lazy, then I am going to be more lazy than not. And that is not a trait of someone who is a high achiever. If I say I am, I look at myself in the mirror and I don't say positive things about myself, or I say, oh, I'm fat, then I'm going to keep progressively reinforcing that idea that I think that I'm fat by eating more chocolate, by getting more chips, by not intermittent fasting, by not going to the gym. Whatever you tell yourself, you will find ways in your everyday life to reaffirm it to yourself. That is simply just how the human brain works. So when you are being told or telling yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm confident, I am prosperous, I am abundant. If you guys like these affirmations, I'll actually drop this other channel below and you like my voice, I drop affirmations both in English and Spanish, so that way you're language learning while still getting to hear affirmations at the same time. And whatever recommendations you guys want to hear, whether it's I want to be the next best race car driver, I will do a whole video about affirmations about that specifically for you on YouTube. Now, having confidence does not mean you have to wear makeup all the time. But a majority of time, depending on where you are, you just need to look more put together. Me personally, I do not prefer to go out with my natural hair. I don't feel like that's what the best version of myself looks like. My natural hair is way more curly and a lot more frizzy. And there are a couple of products I can use to have, my curly hair out. And I'll do it primarily at home, but when I go out into the world, that's not a way I want to present myself. So I do not go outside with curly hair. And there is curly hair that's absolutely beautiful when you have the right products in there to take care of the frizz. But again, I don't see myself or see other people doing business with someone who is not the best version of themselves. And to me, that's not what the best version of myself looks like. Putting on makeup, sometimes I would just say, hey, if you don't want to do like a whole thing of makeup, that's fine. Take care of your eyebrows, take care of your liner and lashes and your lips. That's it. Leave the rest of the face alone and you'll be fine. People will think you have a full face of makeup on anyway, especially if you're someone who takes care of your skin. When you're also taking care of your physical appearance, your mental, you also need to feed your soul. And when I say feed your soul, I want you to think back to the time where you were a child and whatever it was you enjoyed doing, whether that be playing with your friends, whether it be a sport that you really enjoyed, whether it be this dessert that you really enjoyed eating. These are the things that create happy moments within us from an early age. And then as we grow, we are sometimes forgetting to feed those parts of ourselves. So it's very important to make sure that we nourish the things that we love to do, not only as an adult, but the things that we enjoyed doing as a child, because those are sometimes the things that truly bring us happiness. When we're feeding our mental, it's not only about maintaining the frame, but it's also about increasing your intelligence on a daily level and constantly learning. Because when you're someone who's constantly learning new things or have multiple interests in different topics, that gives you a larger window to be able to connect with different people. I was not able to connect with a majority of high net worth men if I didn't really know about cars. Sometimes cars will be like the conversation that we get to like go into before being able to discuss other more serious business topics. If it's someone in finance and I know about finance, it's very easy for me to integrate because we're within the same industry. When you're talking to someone in marketing and me having content that I create and already having created funnels for my business and understanding the importance of having newsletters and everything like that, it's a very easy way to be able to connect with someone within that industry. So when you have multiple interests and you nourish those interests, whatever they are for you, you will come across the right people to be able to connect with that will help you grow either in that area or in multiple other ways by having connected you with another person. Relationships are super, super important, not only on the personal side, but also on the business side. And when you do not have confidence within business, again, it's a frame that people have. So people make a snap judgment off of you within the first few seconds of meeting you. And that usually stays with them for life, right? Until they get to know you better as time goes on, if they even get the opportunity to do so. But when you are initially meeting someone, you want to be presentable. You want your words to articulate the intention that you have behind speaking to them. If it's to admire them and learn more about what they do, let that be the intention for that, initial conversation. I find that is a really great way to connect with people because a majority of time, people who are very good within their fields don't always get to nerd out on the things that they love with people who are completely brand new to it. So when they do happen to come across someone who may not know about that industry, they can yap for hours. And when you get more people to speak about themselves and what they enjoy, they will simply like you more. It's just human psychology. And when they're speaking to you about the things that they do for business, you may here or there hear things about the things that they hold personal, that they do actually like really, really love. But you're not going to be able to figure that out if you can't even break the ice with conversation. I used to be I was going to say a little, but it's not a little, it's very insecure with my communication style because I didn't feel like I was able to get from point A to point B in a concise manner. And being able to do that is an indicator of intelligence for sure. But I'm a Cancer, so sometimes like I'll walk sideways around the topic of conversation, not because I don't have a clear intention for the conversation or I'm not trying to answer the question, but simply because my brain is making too many connections to multiple different things. Even if it's not relevant, if it's just funny, like it's gonna come out my mouth because I thought it was funny. So I want to share that with someone else because I find that to be joyful. So not always being serious within your communication style is necessary. A lot of times you will connect more with people when you're able to be funny and tell jokes because people love to laugh. They love to feel good. And the more that you can make others feel good, you're going to feel good as a result of that. So the next time you see someone and you like something that they have on them or you admire a quality about them, communicate that. Today I went to the dentist. As you can see, it's super white, right? I went to the dentist and he had a pink mask on. I was like, I really like your mask. And then he started cracking jokes later on, doing my retainer. So like they did the mold for my retainer. And he was like, oh, this is when I start to ask you a bunch of personal questions because you know, your mouth is full and you can't answer. And then I started doing sign language. And so when I did sign language, I literally had a whole conversation while this thing was in my mouth taking the mold because it was just so funny. It was hilarious. And the reason why it was hilarious is because when I was younger, decided to study sign language. Why? Because I thought it was cool. I didn't think people could just walk around with doing a bunch of hand signs and actually be able to communicate without using words. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I decided to learn a little bit. And because I decided to learn a little bit, it's stuck and now I can communicate with him. He's also Korean. And I know one Korean word. It is a regular word. It's the word for you. And if you guys want to look that up, I'm sure you've probably seen it if you've scrolled through YouTube or TikToks on, Asian countries and communications. But it was the word you. And he was like, that's not a good word. I thought you were speaking English. And I'm like, no, I'm not speaking English. I'm speaking Korean because you speak Korean. And that was a funny moment that allowed us to connect. So those little things really go a long way when it comes to building longer term relationships. And that is someone who is also seeking to get, trust, private trust with myself and probably do other business in the future, like different investments. And that would be amazing because why wouldn't you want to do business with people who you enjoy being around? It's a luxury to be able to spend time when you want, how you want, with who you want, as well as do business when you want, with who you want, and whenever you want. And that is what I truly believe to be the epitome of creating abundance within your life. It's not about having control. It's about creating memorable experiences in your life for you and those that you love, while leaving room for spontaneous, pleasant surprises. And I'm very careful and intentional about using these words Because if you say, hey God, hey universe, I love surprises, the universe doesn't understand if it's a negative surprise or a positive surprise. They're just like, oh, you want a surprise, let's give you a surprise. No. So as a result of knowing that, I always communicate that I enjoy pleasant, positive surprises. Not scary surprises, not bad surprises, not whoops. None of those. We don't need none of whoops. We want pleasant surprises. So when you're going up to people, remember that if you're ever feeling anxious and your heart starts beating too fast and your palms start sweating and your pupils start dilating because the person in front of you is just completely gorgeous, one, breathe, because you're probably lacking oxygen to your brain in that very moment. When you take this breath and you're able to clear your thoughts, understand that the reason why your heart is beating fast is not because you're anxious. It's not because you're nervous. It's because you are excited about that moment. I actually learned that tip when I was doing public speaking in college. So I had a public speaking class and I had to go speak to everyone in front of everyone. And I simply told myself that I was not nervous, I'm just excited. And as a result of being excited, I had tremendous, amazing energy that the crowd was able to feel as I spoke. And that is how you're able to maintain confidence.